Thank you again. We are continuing in the solved questions on indices. Now, we just pick some of these questions up. These are the questions we are going to do. We have 3 into brackets x close bracket raised to power 2 into a larger bracket raised to power minus 2. Then the other one is 16 raised to power minus 4 y raised to power 3 into a bracket, then all into power of 1 over 4. Then the next one we have is 0.064 into a bracket of power minus 1 over 3. Then the last question is root 5 roots y raised to power 10. So let's see as we move on and get this one solved. Now, I know the viewers at home are enjoying the class, so let's move on. Number one, we have the number one there. Number one says 3x raised to close bracket raised to power 2, then the bigger one raised to power minus 2. So whenever I want to solve something like this, the next thing is we are having two power. That is one thing you have to be very careful about. Then the first thing is to solve the bracket one by one. Now, if we are going to solve this bracket one after the other, then we will say number one, let's remove the outer bracket first. So that will be 3x raised to power, what we have here is 2 times minus 2. So that will give us 3 raised to power s, close the bracket, into minus 4. You can see we've gotten our power, the two powers together to be 1, which is 3x raised to power minus 4. Now, what do we do with this minus 4? Let's go on with the 4 first. Then that means we have, if we are going with the 4, or let's go with the what do we call it? The negative, which is what? A reciprocal. So we have, that's going to give us 1 over, are you following now? That will be 1 over 3x raised to power 4. 1 over 3x raised to power 4. So what we are going to have here is 1 over 3 raised to power 4 multiplied by x raised to power 4. Do you get it now? So the next thing is going to give us 1 over 3 raised to power 4 will give us 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. So we have 81 multiplied by x raised to power 4. So our final answer will be 1 over 81x raised to power 4. Thank you. This is what we're going to have as a final answer. Now we move straight forward to number 2 questions. Number 2 question says 16 raised to power minus 4, then y raised to power 3, all into bracket of 1 over 4. So when you look at something like this, you will see that the first number there, 16 raised to power minus 4, the power is having negative. So it's going to be a reciprocal. Thank you. So that's going to be a reciprocal. That will be 1 over 16 raised to power 4. Are you following now? Multiply by y raised to power 3 all into 1 over 4. Are you following? Now, the next thing we are going to do is this. We are going to solve a question this way. Sorry, this should be 8, not 3. That's raised to power 8. That's the question. Sorry, is just wrong written of a question. Please, now what will we go with is, since you have this, the next thing will be that you will find the rule. The next one will now be y raised to power 8 over 16 raised to power 4. Don't forget that you are still having the process of 1 over 4. So what is 1 over 4? 1 over 4 will be that you find the roots of this. That will give us 4 roots of this. That will be y raised to power 8 over 16 raised to power 4. Then how can 4 affect this and solve it for us? Then we can further have something like this. We further have something like this that we have. This one will be that same root 4 into y raised to power 2 into bracket of 4 over 16 raised to power 4. So if 4 is there, then we will have something like this. Square root of y square into the power of 4 over, because we can separate it, that's root 4, then another root 4 of 16 raised to power 4. So power, we cancel the root. Power, we cancel the root. So what are we going to have? We have something like this: y raised to power 2 over 16. Are you getting it? We have y raised to power 2 over 16. There's nothing we can do again than to leave our final answer at this level. Y squared raised to power minus 16. You may be wondering what happened to the 1. Once you root, everything here becomes raised to power of 1. This one also becomes raised to power of 1. Then any number raised to power 1 is the number itself. So that's the reason why the 1 cannot affect any change on the workings. So thank you about that. Let's move down to number 3 very fast. That will be very fast. Then we have 0.064 all into the power of minus 1 over 3. So what do we have? In a question like this, you bring out the real number. The real number there is 64 over your point turned to 1. Every other number after the point turned to zeros. That's 3 number. That will be 30. Then you bracket it, raised to power minus 1 over 3. So the next thing is find the root. You have the cube root. That's to the power of 3. To the root of 3. 64 over 1000. All, don't forget, we are still having this, all to the power of minus 1. We still have minus 1. So when you find it, what are you going to multiply together in 3 places that will give you 64? I think that one will give us 4. Are you with me? Then what are you going to multiply together in 3 places that will give us 1000? That is 10. Then once you have this, you still have raised to power minus 1. Now the next thing is you have this. That will be your minus will become a reciprocal. 1 over 4 over 10. Don't forget, that is what you have. But this one can be disintegrated into what we call, this one is standing alone, 1 over 1 divided by 4 over 10, which will give us 1 over 1 multiplied by 10 over 4. That means we have 10 over 4. 2 here, that will give us 5. 2 here, that will give us 2. So our final answer will be 5 over 2 will now give us 2.5. So this is what our final answer will be. Then the last question is number 4. We are going to solve it below this question. What is number 4? What do we have in number 4? We are having 5 roots of y raised to power 10. You must look for a number so that your root 5 can break a power of 5. Since we have 10, that will be 2 times 10. 2 times 10, so that will be root of this 5 into 2 all into 5. So this power cancel the root. So we have y raised to power 2, and that will be our final answer. Thank you for this last question.